Welcome back to the Timeline Podcast. I'm your host, Mia Torres.
And I'm your other host, Meghan and Mia. Welcome to a special at-home quarantine edition of the podcast. We don't have a guest for this episode, so we're just going to be talking about the timeline of our 4 years in high school, including the best parts and highlights. So, are you ready?
I'm so excited.
Awesome. So, I want to start out by talking about freshman year. So, what school did you come from before prep?
I went to St. Thomas More, and I was there for 12 years, all the way from preschool to grade 8.
Wow.
And I was so excited about prep, but also very nervous.
Yeah, who did you come with?
Oh, there were like half of my class went. Do you want names?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, KK Horn, Jack Schmidt, Ryan Volker, Evan Summerfield, Lizzie Haval, Anna Streckengost, Riley Wareham, Carter Saylor. That should be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, everyone's like so separated now.
Yeah, and what's crazy is Jack, Carter, KK, and I have gone to school together since preschool, so I've literally known them almost my entire life.
That's crazy. Are you guys still pretty close?
Not really. I'm still kind of friends with KK, but I was never like crazy close with anyone to begin with. We were just kind of really good friends with everyone because we had to be. There were only 30 of us. So, yeah.
Wow, that's kind of crazy, but pretty cool.
How about you?
I came from Sac Middle School, so I was only there for 2 years, which is not that long, but I didn't really know anyone, only my cousins, and yeah, that's it. I didn't have any friends and didn't really know anyone coming to prep, but it ended up being fine, so yeah. And what did you think of prep when you first started here?
I was a freshman and I didn't have any of my old friends in any of my classes, so I immediately had to make friends with new people. And that was scary, but I figured it out. I was very intimidated by all of the upperclassmen.
Yeah, I was too.
What do you think? You present an interesting perspective because your mom's a teacher.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Did you have any connection to prep other than your cousins?
No, my mom and I started at prep at the same time, so we didn't really know anyone previously. I didn't really have any relationship with faculty members or other kids at prep like I guess other faculty kids did, and I didn't really have any experience going to Prep Pride or games or anything like that. So yeah.
Wow.
But what were you involved in?
Freshman year, I was still figure skating. I was a figure skater for 10 years. I retired this summer.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't really have a lot of time for anything other than that. But you did sports, right?
Yeah, I did. I did C-Squad volleyball and C-Squad basketball and just like a little bit of tennis in the summer.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. So what was your favorite part of freshman year?
I had Tom Berry freshman year. He had us for honors algebra, and there were like 20 of us taking that class, and it was just us, and we were the last year that course existed. They changed it right after us, and it was the hardest math class I've ever taken, but we were also dealing with Tom Berry, and he can be really scary, and all of us freshmen really bonded over that, and I made a lot of friends in that class, so I think that was kind of pivotal for me.
That's really cool.
What'd you think? What was like your highlight?
It was probably playing basketball just because I really liked everyone on the team and I got to play with my cousin before she graduated. So we just had a lot of time to hang out and see each other, and yeah, it was a really fun time.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So did you do any sports besides figure skating?
No, I didn't really have time to, so I couldn't.
Oh, right, yeah. And what about plays? Were you involved in drama at all freshman year?
I wish I was, but I was only in the beginning drama class, and I was in third period, and I loved it, and it was so much fun. But I did not do any plays. I was too scared to do anything.
I would be too. Yeah, totally. So, Spirit Week, were you involved in any of the activities, and like what did you think of it?
Freshman year, I was not as involved as I have been in the past 2 years, but I really liked watching the Wiki Challenge because Chris Brown, everyone's king, did that fun dance.
Yeah.
And that's so funny. And let's see, I think that might have been the only event we won, and our class was so unspirited that it was so sad. But it was fun either way. It really inspired me when I was watching like all the other upperclassmen and their classes get so excited about it. I thought that was cool.
No, yeah, totally. I remember being a freshman looking at the seniors and the juniors, wondering how they got to that level of like excitement and spirit. And because as a freshman, I felt like we were giving our all.
Yeah.
But I guess we weren't, because somehow we've been able to, I don't know, get to this point where we just go so much crazier than we did before. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've really leveled up over the years.
Yeah, totally. So, sophomore year, did you go to a lot of football games, basketball games, anything like that?
I went to Prep Pride. I've always wanted to go to more games, but I have a job, so it's always really hard when I work on the weekends to go to games. And then during the week, I was skating, or I had like rehearsal, and I just never had time to go if I wanted to get my homework done too.
Right, yeah.
But do you go to a lot of the games?
Definitely football, maybe basketball a little bit, and some soccer too. But football is always the one that I go to the most. I think most people go to the most too, because it's right after summer, so everyone kind of misses seeing everyone, and football games are pretty fun. I think they're the best.
Yeah. I think something that's like really underrated are the track meets and the cross country meets.
Oh yeah.
Because like you can't really talk to the athletes that much, but they do have a bit of downtime. And then it's fun to just like follow them around on their course and just cheer them on for a little bit. And for track, there's always something to be watching, so they're really entertaining.
Yeah, I would agree. I've been to a few cross country meets, and they're really not boring at all.
They're not. There's always something to do.
Yeah. So, did you get involved in plays sophomore year? More drama stuff?
I got involved in more drama stuff. I wasn't in advanced drama, but I did join improv club that year. And by the end of the year, Reagan Crane and I were the only two members left. So we kind of got thrown into the leadership position for the next years. And so we were president junior and senior year. Well, she was junior year, and I am now this year with Garrick Watkins, a junior. But, yeah, we just kind of did, sophomore year, I just kind of did improv. And that was really good. Got really into that. And then I didn't really get into, like, plays until junior year.
Right. That's really cool.
Yeah. Would you ever have done a play?
No, definitely not.
Why not?
I'm so bad at, well, I guess public speaking. I just can't get up in front of crowds and say stuff. I have such a fear of that. So probably wouldn't be good.
I think a lot of people say that too, but then they don't realize that you have 6 months to memorize how many lines you have, and you can't even see the crowd because the lights are so blinding.
That's true.
So like it's literally just like rehearsal.
That's true. I bet it really isn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It's still, I don't know, it's probably not my personality. I think it's definitely your personality to get up on stage and like perform like that.
But do you go to the plays?
No, not very many of them. I mean, I went to the one this year, and I definitely saw the Willy Wonka one. So was that sophomore year?
That was sophomore year.
Yeah, I remember Tony in that.
Willy Wonka was really good.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So you haven't been to Hijinks, the Advanced Hijinks Society?
No, I haven't. I really want to go this year, though.
Oh, if we have it, hopefully we do. Hopefully we get back and we get to do it, but they're so funny. This one's going to be pretty quarantine, Corona sketch themed, so I think it's going to be really funny. You should definitely try and make it out.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely do. What would happen if it doesn't? Is it just, if school keeps getting canceled, then is it just not going to happen?
We had a Zoom meeting today trying to figure out exactly what we're going to do, but it's really likely that we're just going to like pre-record sketches and just send them out, kind of like we do for this class.
Okay.
Broadcasting.
Right, yeah. Okay, well, hopefully it happens because, yeah, it would be so sad if I didn't get to see it my senior year.
Yeah, especially since like for the kids in the advanced drama class, like that's our second semester is pretty much just hijinks.
Oh, yeah.
So it would suck if we didn't get to do it, because then what would we even be doing in that class?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Can you give us like a little, not sneak peek, but tell us a little bit about what's going to be in the play? Like what teachers are going to talk about, what things are going to...
Oh, well, we haven't selected the lineup yet of sketches, but there are lots of Tom Barry jokes. There always are. There's a couple of Miss Han McEwen jokes. Most of the show sketches that have been pitched so far, and most of the first drafts of scripts that I've read, have to do with Corona and how people are living their lives. There's more sketches still to be written about like a quarantined prom where it's basically just people FaceTiming. And I think that's going to be really funny if that gets pitched or if it gets written at all. But there's a lot of good ideas going around.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea for a sketch? Are you working on a sketch right now?
I think I wrote like 6 different sketches. I wrote 3 short ones that would be video format. And you know the duck and cover video? Mr. Flanagan showed it our sophomore year to his chem classes.
No, I've never had Mr. Flanagan before.
Oh, okay. So it was like a video from the 50s or something. And it was like a safety video. And there was like a man, he's like, if there's a warning that there's going to be a nuclear bomb, everybody needs to duck and cover. And I just thought that the style of the video was really funny. So I wrote 3 commercials kind of based off of that. And they're like, what you can do when you're in quarantine, when you're inside of your house, or what you can do when you're outside of the house. And then I wrote another one that was alternatives to toilet paper. And I think that one may be the best. And then... That's cool. Anna Thompson and I collaborated on a sketch that would be a drama show. Not a drama show, but like The View?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like The View, but they would be talking about impeachment. And I don't want to reveal the big punchline there, but it's a pretty good one. And then we also talked about coronavirus in that sketch. Then I wrote another sketch that I called The Jug Block Tango. And do you know the Cell Block Tango from Chicago, the musical?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, so it's a parody song of the Cell Block Tango from Chicago. And it's about Jug and how different people ended up in Jug and how they don't deserve Jug. It's pretty funny, a little quirky. There's a girl that speaks with the cursive accent, so that's really fun. And
that's cool.
I have one more sketch that I collaborated with Aubrey Richards on, and it was pretty much her idea. And it's like 1984, but prep. And it's kind of in the style of a noir film. And we could either do that one live or record it. And we probably will record it because there's a good chance we'll just have to videotape everything and send it out.
Yeah, okay. So I want to know how far you guys can go as far as like making fun of teachers when you come up with sketches. Like, how do you know where to draw the line?
It kind of just like, it's almost like there's no line, and then when we get to a joke and we're like, that crossed a line, it gets thrown out. We just kind of free write and see what happens. There's no like significant line. Sometimes Mr. Pat will be like, you guys, we're not writing about this year. Like this year we decided we didn't want to write any vape sketches because most of our show last year was about vaping, so we didn't want to do that again. And also this year there's no cross-dressing sketches because we did a lot of that last year too. And then, yeah, pretty much that. Just kind of cool. Like, we get a couple guidelines, but not a ton. It's our show. We get to write it. It's really fun.
Yeah, I really admire you guys for that because, like, it would be so hard for me to try to come up with these sketches on my own or even with people. Like, I'm not the best with ideas like that. So that's really cool. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, we get a lot of information and, like, example. So one day we watched SNL in class just kind of to get inspired and get the juices flowing. And with Corona, we just like throughout the year we write out things that like are happening and like, yeah, there's a joke there. So at the beginning of the year, remember when there was the PA system that kept like not working?
Yeah.
So we wrote that down at the beginning of the year and we said, this is good hijinks material for later. So we just kind of saved it and now we're able to use it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love that.
Yeah.
So junior year, I want to talk about academics really quick. Did you have any problems with school junior year? That's usually when people take on like a lot more coursework and harder classes and stuff. How was that for you?
I had been taking AP and honors classes since freshman year. So last year I took 2 AP, 2 honors. Wait, did I? I might have taken 1 AP and 2 honors. And I don't know. It was fine. I didn't think it was too hard for me, but I know a lot of other people struggled. What did you think?
I definitely struggled. I tried to take 3 APs and I guess an honors class, honors Spanish 3, and it was just way, way, way too much. So then I just had to lower my expectations for myself, and then I dropped like 2 of them. So I was just doing 1 AP, and that was a lot better. Yeah, I just like I don't know why I signed up for them. I just thought that I could do it, but then I was like, well, why? Like, why do I feel the need to take all these hard classes in subjects that I don't really care all that much about? So, yeah, so that was probably pretty hard. I actually definitely did struggle junior year with the academics, but all good now. Just always a learning opportunity.
Did you like the classes you ended up taking?
No, not really. I stayed in AP Bio, and that was fine, but I'm definitely not someone with a science mind, so it wasn't really all that great, I guess.
I want to ask, what's been like your favorite class that you've taken throughout your high school career?
I don't know. It's really hard to determine content-wise. I feel like how good the class is totally is determined by like the teacher and who is in the class with you to make it fun. Yeah. It's hard. I don't think I can choose one, honestly. I don't think I have a favorite. Do you?
I am kind of between on a couple different ones. I really, really love my math class this year. The material's fine. We finally figured out how to like hack that class. And the people in that class are so much fun. And it's 7th period with Mr. Forrest Higgins. It's like the most fun I've ever had in a math class. And it's challenging, but it's still a lot of good work. And it's good stuff. I really liked AP Bio last year. I had a lot of good friends in that class. And it was just a fun time. I really liked the labs. It was a lot of fun.
The labs were cool, yeah.
Yeah, drama's always great. Love drama.
It always really depends for me. There's so many classes that I probably wouldn't have liked, but just because of the people, it's a lot better. I mean, broadcasting, I honestly didn't really want to take it once I got in here. I was like, what? I have to make like video content? Like, I don't really want to do that. But then we started working together and we worked with Liam and Grant, and it was just really fun. It was a lot better than I expected, and now this is like an awesome class, and I love filming the podcast with you, and yeah, it's great. So I want to know if there's anything that you realized junior year that you wish you would have known as a freshman or sophomore.
I'm not totally sure. I don't think I had like any major realizations junior year. More like senior year I came to a realization, but I think we can talk about that later. Did you come into any realizations junior year that you wish that you'd known earlier?
About back to the academics thing, probably that like grades don't define you, and that I didn't need to overwork myself or have such high expectations for myself, but I definitely cared less, I guess. I think that's with a lot of people. Like we said before, it's so intimidating to come in freshman year and like everyone's older than you are.
Yeah.
But it was definitely different in that way too.
So did you feel like older, like you were Like, you really felt like an upperclassman?
Not an upperclassman, but I just felt like an older person. Like, I just, like, personally, I felt like I had more responsibility for myself and my life and everything. And also, this was, like, the same year that I had gotten a job over the summer, was working, and just felt older in general, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Did you feel any different, older?
I didn't feel like I was really living it. I just kind of felt like I was going through the motions junior year. I had, like, such a routine. I had it down, like, perfectly, where I'm like, okay, go to school. I pay attention to all my classes because I don't have time after school. And then after school, I'd have an after school activity, like either rehearsal or I'd have skating. And I was always busy. And I'd do homework and then I'd go to sleep. And I was just so in it. And I was like, I've got it down perfectly. And then, I don't know, I just, like, didn't feel like I was really doing much other than just going through the motions.
Right. Yeah, I agree. There was definitely some times in my junior year when I felt like a robot.
Yeah. Even senior year now, I still feel like, except for, like, right now, we have a totally different thing, but, like, before I was like, it's all so routine, it's all so boring that, like, I want to do something else.
Right.
And that's when I caught senioritis.
Totally, yeah. It hit, like, a few months ago. It is so real. I didn't think it was. But it is, kind of.
No. I thought I already had it, but no, it's indescribable.
Yeah. It's so
we'll get
weird.
to that later.
Yeah. So, dances junior year, night flight, prom, the smaller dances like the glow-in-the-dark one and the tropical themed Hawaiian one in the Sebastian Center.
Ancilla did like a Sadie Hawkins dance after hijinks last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I went to that one.
So you didn't go to any of these?
I went to the smaller ones, the glow-in-the-dark one, the Spirit. Was that during Spirit Week?
Yeah, that was the Spirit Week dance.
That was so much fun. But yeah, I did not go to the more traditional ones like night flight and prom. And you went, right?
Yeah, I did. They were fun. I think, they're overhyped. Just, like, you go, you just kind of dance a little bit. But there's not a ton of dancing. Prom was kind of a mess.
Right.
People know about that.
Yeah.
But night flight was fun. Night flight was fun because we weren't down. So the boat is 2 levels. And downstairs you can actually hear the music. And upstairs is just like you're outside. But my friend group was outside for the majority of the dance, and we just kind of hung out, talked. I think we played, like, what's that game where you're sitting in a circle and then you, like, toss your hand over and you hit the other person's hand?
I definitely...
Hanky Panky?
Yeah, I thought that was
Down by the Banks.
Yeah, I thought that was just the name of the song, but yeah, that's definitely it.
Yeah, we would play that game, and that was just a lot of fun. But, I think mixers are so much more fun than formal dances. Like,
agreed.
Yeah, this year with ASB, we were like, we want to plan as many as we can, and then we just always get shut down, which is fine. But,
wait, why do you guys get shut down?
Just because, like, you need chaperones, and a lot of stuff goes into it that a lot of people don't realize, but we wanted to. We were going to have one. We wanted to have, like, a Valentine's Day dance, but have it be a mixer, but that got shut down.
Oh, no. That's so
And then we
sad.
were going to have a Spirit Week dance, but Spirit Week got canceled.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully we still can have it when we get back. But, yeah, Sadie's was so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. So that's just what you guys are planning on, and it'll be pretty much the same, just different dates for everything?
Hopefully. That's what'll happen. There's no way to know right now.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you missed out when you didn't go to the formal dances, or do you feel fine? Or are you sad that we might not get some of them?
Honestly, I don't even really know if I was going to go to prom this year. I feel like I have to, and all my friends are like, you absolutely need to because you haven't been to prom, but no, I feel like there's so many things that I've missed out on during high school, so I think the dances are just like an overhyped night of that, but like I know that there's so many other nights that would have been really fun if I would have gone out and met up with people or gone to whatever was happening. So, so I've already accepted that. So, not going to night flight or prom has just kind of been the same thing. Is there anything else you want to say about freshman, sophomore, junior year? Any other like best parts or highlights or anything else you want to mention?
I was gonna ask what you think was like your favorite retreat experience.
Ooh, that's
or
good.
Like, oh, what'd you do for Christian service? Actually, let me ask that.
I was an ASC tutor. I had an ASC prep period, and that was the year. I mean, it was the first year that we had done the service hours, so they still counted it as service hours, even though they wouldn't do it for the grade below us. I don't know if I knew that it would count, but Mr. Hobbs said it would, even though, like, because it was technically at service hours at prep, which is not exactly what they want. They want it to be out of prep, but I was still serving time, and it happened to count, so it was great. And I had a fun time. It was just kind of like a prep period, but I also had a few underclassmen that I tutored, so it was cool. Where did you do your hours at?
Yeah, I also did the ASC, but I wasn't in a prep period, so I would go in like during lunch and after school. And I had a couple 2Ts, and that was fine. It was pretty easy, but
yeah, I'm glad I had a prep period because I would not have had the discipline to come in at lunch all the time for 40 hours worth of work.
Yeah, it was a lot. They should tone it down. They should make it 30 at least.
Yeah, definitely.
Drop it at least 10 hours.
Yeah. So coming into senior year, what was your priority? Was it college, friends, academics, I don't know, memories, trying to go to every single game and trying to go to every single event?
My goal was definitely to go to as many events as possible because I feel like I hadn't really been a part of the community so far, and I really wanted to do that this year. And I may not have succeeded in doing that, but I did get really close with a bunch of underclassmen through the plays in the drama program. So I feel like that much has satisfied my need to feel like I'm part of the community.
That's cool.
What'd you do?
I really wanted to, I guess, focus on myself this year because, as we said before, or as I kind of mentioned, junior year, I felt like a robot. So, I mean, I said for a tiny part, but honestly, like, I feel like a lot of it, I was just kind of going through the motions, and, it was kind of rough. So this year, I just wanted to take it easy and just work on bettering myself and having a fun time, but not really stressing about trying to go to every single thing. I think I only went to like one basketball game this year, but it was still, I don't even know, it went by really, really fast. Do you think
really
this
did.
year went by so fast? I can't believe it.
So fast, and the fact that it was going so fast and now it's like cut short kind of, it feels like I've been robbed. I was just like blindsided, and I didn't even know what was happening, and all of a sudden it's the end of the year and I'm just so confused, and I feel like I didn't do enough. But at the same time, I'm really lazy and I don't feel like going to a lot of the events sometimes, so that's on me.
No, me too. I didn't really go to that many, but I just think it's so sad because senior year it already seems like too short for everybody. So for our class in particular, for the school year to be cut short for a month and a half or whatever is really sad.
Yeah.
So you're a part of the ASB this year, right? And you haven't in the past years, it's just senior year?
Yeah, just this year. And I kind of ran, this is actually kind of a funny story. So I don't really know, why did I run? I don't know. Someone told me I should run for vice president, and I was like, I don't know about that. And then I went to the meeting, and I was like, maybe, probably not. And then I showed up to my math class with Mr. Higgins, and he was basically, yeah, you should run, why not? So then I ran, and I wasn't expecting to win because there were like 20 kids that ran
Yeah.
for 6 spots, and then I won, and I was like, that can't be right. But anyways, it's been fun. The ASB retreat was definitely like the highlight of my senior year so far, I think.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what did you guys do?
So we were supposed to have like a summer retreat, and then we never did. And then right after night flight, like the next day, we got up at like 3 in the morning to go to Portland. And so we drove there. There was 5 of us. It was me, Aubrey Richards, Elizabeth Mayer, Sam Anderson, our president, and there were supposed to be more ASB members, like Janie Bamis was supposed to go, but she didn't make it, and so we just brought Zandre along with us, even though he's not on ASB, because Sam wanted a friend, so he just got to go, and that was just a lot of fun. We went to this Jesuit, like, leadership conference, and, you know, the conference was okay, but it was just hanging out with those guys was so much fun and making new friends.
That sounds awesome. I didn't know that you guys did that.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was just kind of like a little thing we did. It's just a fun weekend. We had, there were, 5 of us, and we had 3 chaperones, Miss Mayer, Mrs. Cunningham, and Miss McFarland, our moderator, and they were so chill. They were basically like, okay, guys, we don't really know what's going on, because they were all, like, new. So they just kind of drove us there, and we just kind of walked around, and it was really fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, I love Portland, and that would be so fun to go with those people.
Yeah.
So ASB decides Spirit Week, is that right? You guys plan it out?
We plan it, but we don't decide it. We pretty much only plan the cons and, like, make the announcements, but everything else is the class councils. So, like, the theme this year, we proposed, like, 6 different options, and none of the class councils liked them. And so then one class council proposed Star Wars, and they had like a split of a 50-50 vote between social media and Star Wars. And ASB wasn't supposed to vote, but then we all had to vote as a group between those two, and we ended up voting for the Star Wars theme just because freshmen don't know Vine because they're so young, and that's crazy to think about.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we couldn't do social media, but that was the other option.
Oh, I don't know. That sucks. Was that what you wanted to do, or was that what the ASB came up with, was the social media?
I can't remember if we came up with it or if, like, the juniors came up with it. No, the juniors came up with Star Wars for sure, but
Yeah.
I think the seniors maybe came up with social medias, and we wanted Airbender so bad. We'd like the elements, but didn't fly. No one else wanted it.
What did you want to do? Like, what was your pick for the theme?
I wanted to do Airbender. Yeah, I was cool with Airbender. I felt like that made the most sense.
What would everyone be?
Freshmen would have been Earth. The sophomores would have been Air. The juniors would have been Fire, and then seniors would have been Water.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mhm.
What has the theme been in the past, well, I guess for us, 3 years? So freshman it was, what was it?
SpongeBob.
Oh, it was, yeah. Can you remember the other ones? What was sophomore year?
Sophomore year was Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah.
And-
I remember the video of people editing in, like, Sesame Street characters, I thought.
Yeah, and then last year was Unsung Heroes. It was a good theme, actually.
Oh, yeah. I don't even remember hearing that title, but I just remember that we were lifeguards. What was everyone else?
The seniors, I think, were doctors. Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Sophomores were construction workers, and the freshmen were, like, garbage people. I don't know what the correct term is.
That's right. That's so weird that I don't even think I really heard the theme, that the theme was Unsung Heroes. I just knew who everyone was, I guess, but I forgot.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird one, but it worked out.
So next I want to talk about coronavirus and how that's affected us as seniors and just in general. Is there anything that you want to talk about before we get to that and then wrap it up?
I'm not sure. It kind of stinks. The only plus side about it is that now I have my own schedule, and that, like, AP tests have been changed, and
Fact.
if we don't go back, my math class becomes a pass or fail kind of class.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Instead of us having to take a brutal final at the end of the year, which I'm okay with if we don't do that, but I don't know. I do miss, like, my classmates, and I miss seeing everyone, and I miss my kids, basically, is what I call them, all my underclassmen friends. But yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad. There's like so many school friends that I have that I don't get to see now, and it's so sad.
And it's so weird, like, you don't realize how many people you kind of think of as, like, not exactly like your friends, but they're people you see every day and you talk to, and you enjoy spending time with them. And then when that's, like, taken away, you really start to appreciate how much more you enjoyed seeing them each day.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't, like, separate school friends from regular friends. Like, everyone that I'm friends with at school is obviously my friend, but it's just that I'm not in a habit of seeing them outside of school. So that's sad.
Yeah, so, like, shout out to Sydney Reed, because we got really close first semester, and now I'm never going to see her because I don't have any classes with her anymore.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's also what's so sad about, I guess, senior year in general, is that if you don't have a class with someone and just don't happen to cross paths, then you're, like, not going to see them for the last year, and then it's just, we graduate and it's over, and you don't get to see them again.
And I have meetings so often that I don't even get to go to lunch, like, on the mezzanine, so it's like I don't even see people then either. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Just, like, really miss you?
No, I think they know who they are.
Oh, that's sweet. Sweet.
So can we talk about the seniors getting to eat on the mezzanine really quick? Because I feel like that was something that we could never do, and then all of a sudden it's just, like, this privilege that we get. Also, same with skipping the line. And it's, like, it's just, like, the new normal for us, and so it doesn't even mean anything, but obviously we've waited 3 years to get those privileges.
Yeah. You know what? I never ate in the student center before senior year because I hated it. There was never any room. I always had to stand. It was so loud. But the mezzanine is so nice. There's extra tables. There's a bounty full of space. We get that little balcony in the summer, and it's just so nice. And it's not as loud.
I love it up there.
Yeah. It's great.
No, yeah. I love it up there. I couldn't imagine eating with all of the underclassmen.
And, like, cutting the line is so nice. I never bought lunch before because I'd have to wait in line. Cutting the line is the nicest thing ever. Oh my gosh.
Fifth period, like, my only thought was, how do I get to the lunch line as quick as possible? Like, deciding, am I going to buy lunch? If so, I need to get ready to bolt out of here because you just can't. And it's just, like, a luxury that's so nice. We don't have to worry about rushing to the line anymore. I just think it's crazy in general how we get these, I guess I keep saying privileges, but yeah, we just keep getting these privileges and then I feel like take them for granted, kind of.
Yeah, that is true. Like, I think it was, like, the last week before school got shut down, I was talking to one of my underclassmen friends, right, like, before, like, during break, and I just didn't want to, like, have to leave her and then, like, join her back, so I ended up going through the line with her, and it was so weird. I was like, oh, wow, I forgot what this is like. You actually have to, like, stand around and just hope there's enough food for you.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, they run out of food sometimes, and it's just, like, crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so with the coronavirus, I just want to discuss really briefly how it's affected us as seniors in particular, and also why it's been so sad for us especially. I feel like a lot of people understand that, but I just want to talk about it, and, you know, you can say, like, how it's, I guess, affected you more.
I think a lot of people are really worried about graduation. Okay, actually, maybe you should talk about this because you're more friends with seniors and I'm more friends with underclassmen. So go ahead.
A lot of people are talking about graduation, but I think that graduation will get postponed and we'll have it no matter what. It'll just suck that we won't have it like as soon as we get done. It'll feel weird and nobody likes that, but also a lot of people are sad about prom. But I remember everyone saying that even if we don't have one officially for the school, then we're just going to have somebody rent out a room, find a place, like go to the Coeur d'Alene Resort and figure something out, and we'll have a senior prom and it'll work out.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I mean, it sucks, but also in a way I feel like it could bring our class together more. Like when we come back, I feel like we're going to have, and I guess this is under the condition that we do come back. Pray to God, fingers crossed that we do. Yeah. But we'll have those 4 weeks and we'll have the best time. I think a silver lining is that we'll all come together and have the best spirit week and prom.
Yeah, definitely. Like the last day, I would go to all my classes and we were all giving each other the elbow and being like, hey, I'm going to miss you so much. And also, there's a couple people that are actually like sending handwritten letters out to people, and I think that's so cool and so sweet. I am too lazy for that, so I've just been like texting people and being like, hey, how are you? Tell me about your life, like what's going on, how are you dealing with this? And just trying really hard to stay connected to people during this time is so important.
I've definitely not done that, really. Not with everyone. I mean, there's so many people that I know I'm gonna miss, and I haven't talked to them. But I think it's so cool that, and even me, like, I'm someone that's very sentimental. It's given me, and I think everyone else in the senior class, a wake-up call and, like, just a tiny taste of what it's going to be like to not get to see everyone. So when we do come back, then we're going to appreciate everyone so much, rather than every other senior year where it would just slowly build up to the graduation season and the actual graduation. And then it's just gone. So I think it'll be cool. We're definitely going to appreciate everyone more and get to tell all of those people when we get back, like, how much we miss them and try to reconnect with them again before we're gone.
Yeah, it's definitely affecting us in a special way, which I think is really interesting that we get to experience it like this.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I was most sad about Spirit Week getting canceled, especially, I guess rescheduled, because I was so looking forward to it. It's definitely, like, my favorite part of spring, I guess. And it was right about to happen as school got canceled.
It would have been, what, like a week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was anticipating it so much.
That was so sad. Yeah.
So I want to know about your summer plans, like if you have any trips that you were looking forward to, any jobs, if you were going to hang out with people, what you had planned. Obviously, because of the coronavirus, nothing is guaranteed, but what were you planning on doing?
Well, I was set to go on the Spain trip, but currently all travel to Europe is banned, I think.
Right.
And also, we haven't heard from the company officially, like, if it's going to be postponed for next year or what's going on. But if it's postponed for next year, I don't think I'm going to go.
Yeah, because you're a senior. That's such a bummer.
Yeah, it'd be so weird if I went. So I just don't think I'll go, and that kind of stinks, but it's fine. That's
so sad.
Incredibly expensive, and I was kind of like, don't know about that. And because there's like this thing where they were like, no, you can't get your money back, but now I think they are saying you can. So hopefully,
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I heard from my mom, and I thought that they said, well, last time I talked to her, what she had heard is that if it's canceled, you're not really going to get your money back, which is so sad. But that's good if they can give you vouchers for some type of travel in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
How about you?
I was planning on working this summer as a lifeguard and WSI, which is like a swim instructor. And I already got hired. I already like interviewed with the people before this whole thing went down, and they hired me back. It would be my third summer. And so the possibility that it might get canceled is so sad. I mean, I can really deal with school being postponed. I probably can't deal with Spirit Week being canceled, but I can deal with like a last minute prom and graduation. But if I can't have the summer that I was planning on, then that'll be really, really, really sad. Like not being able to make the money and also just not being able to go back and see the people would be so sad.
Oh, that would be sad.
I love working there so much. So to wrap up this episode, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned over high school?
Just like to be yourself. I think a big thing I found was that there's always going to be someone that'll accept you if you are crazy. So just like you'll find a group of people that can be crazy with you and will be your friends. Yeah. So that's kind of how I learned that just by being friends with underclassmen, that like, wow, I found my crowd. And even though they're younger than me and I won't see them anymore, it just taught me a lot to like be cool with younger kids.
Yeah, that's cool. It obviously sounds a little like cliche, like be yourself and whatever, but it's so true. And once you learn how to apply it to your life and actually learn those lessons, then it's, definitely really valuable.
Yeah. What do you think has been like the biggest lesson you've learned?
Probably not to take on too much and just to know that I can handle more than I think I can. I always think that so many things are out of my reach and so many things are too hard for me to do, but I actually have the ability to do them. Like as far as getting jobs and getting internships in the future and starting at college new and everything, I always feel like, I don't know, it's harder to do than it actually is. I forget that everyone else has to go through the same thing. And I probably have the skills in life already to get through life just fine. And everything else that I learn extra will just help me be even better.
Awesome.
Also, this is kind of the same thing, but do you have something that has changed the most over these 4 years in your life? I don't know, like maybe you moved or something.
I think I've really grown in my relationships with others, especially with teachers, and just kind of learning how to form friendships with them and not just have, they're still like a mentor, but also just like they're people too, and they're cool and they have stories, and it's cool to hear about that. And I think that's been really important, and it's going to be really helpful for next year going into college.
Yeah.
And also just like learning how to form new friendships. I think that was really important for me to learn how to do.
Yeah, definitely. I thought of Mr. Boyle when you were talking about relationships with teachers. He's so awesome.
How do you think you've changed as a person over these 4 years?
I think I've learned to worry less and just go with the flow. I'm definitely still a worrier and I guess a perfectionist and everything along those lines, but I've just, had a lot more life experience and I'm a little bit more aware of what's happening around me. Like I just can think for myself better than I could coming into high school.
That's something I'm still working on, is just like figuring out my opinions and like starting to get there. Yeah. I feel like I'm very easily influenced, so it's very easy for people to control my mind.
No, yeah, definitely. I am so influenced by my environment, so whatever everyone else kind of does or says or thinks, I'm a little bit more prone to, or I was a little bit more prone to, take on those traits or absorb them, but I've learned a little bit more how to be myself.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So last question, I know we've talked about adding things into our lives, like more confidence in ourselves and the ability to do whatever, but is there anything that you have subtracted in your life?
Well, I stopped skating, and I think that was a really big deal for me because it was something that I'd done for 10 years. And it's just like I had so many friends that I had been lifelong friends. Like my best friend Emily, I'd known her since like day one of skating, literally. And just like saying goodbye to that life was such a big deal. But the thing is, it didn't give me any joy. So getting rid of it was definitely the right decision. And using the time that I would have skating and like applying it to something that I did like, which is drama, was really important and a really big step for me. But I'm overall super happy that I did it.
That's really cool. That's crazy. And I'm glad that you said like it's a whole life, because everything that comes with it is just such a big part of, I guess, who you are or who you were. So that's it.
Yeah, so do you have any final words you want to say? Any advice you want to give? A perspective you'd like to offer?
Nothing at all. No, I'm not really good at advice, honestly. I've just learned lessons and stuff for myself, but I don't think I really have that much to, share with people all the time.
I think the biggest takeaway that I have to offer is probably like high school. It's just 4 years of your life, and you can't mess it up. I think a lot of people think about like, I'm going to mess up my high school experience. But, it's your high school experience. It's not anyone else's. So make the most that you want to make out of it. You only get what you put in, but if you don't want to put it in a lot, don't, dude. Live your life.
I think that's so true. You're right. It's at the end of the day, it's just 4 years out of your life, and you won't remember it in a few years. It won't be that big of a deal. It's not a determining factor in who you are or your self-worth or anything like that.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Wow. Kind of a sad note, but a true one at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening. I have been Mia Torres.
And I have been Meghan McGann.
And we'll talk at you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.